Hello, money queens and listeners. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Let's meet the women behind the millionaires, the women supporting, guiding, celebrating women with their wealth. You will hear from women millionaires, how they got there, what they wish they had known, what got them to be a millionaire, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the practical side of wealth. You'll also get to meet the women behind the scenes helping make it happen. Let's dive into Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, best-selling author of 3 books, wealth advisor, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. Let's start meeting the women. Hello, welcome to Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, wealth advisor, best-selling author, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. And we have one of my dear friends, Kris Ledonne, with us today. She's founder of Reminiscence. And let me share a little bit about Kris with you before she comes on here. She specializes in transforming photo and video memories from chaos. Yes, those of you like myself who have thousands of pictures and videos on our phones and albums in our basements, attics, closets, right? All of that into a streamlined system and creating these beautiful albums, displays, helping people take their past, reminisce with them in the past, and also figure out what they want to bring with them into their future. She helps people who are stressed like me, overwhelmed, worried. We want to preserve these precious memories, special times that we have, these moments, but how can we use technology today so that we can use them, visit them more and more, and share them with our families, with our friends, with our communities as well. And she's all about relationships. She really is. So thank you, Kris, for being on Women Behind the Millions with us today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for letting me share your space, Jessica. It's such an honor.
That's such a good word to use, space, because that's how I feel. You are able to hold so much care, love, space for the people that you work with and going through their past. And just to be able to really be there in the moment with them. You've helped so many of my family, clients, people we know and love. And they all say it's such a joy to work with you.
Thank you. You are so kind. And it's a mutual feeling. You've looked into my past with me and helped me make better financial choices because you allow me to be vulnerable with you. So I think we share a lot of the same space.
We do.
Titles.
And I share this a lot. This just popped into my mind. One year for Christmas, I did not know what to get my mother and mother-in-law, and I got them gift cards to work with Kris. And I was in the hospital, and I'm trying to remember if I was having horrible contractions with my son, and I was sitting there, and it's right around Christmas time. And my father sent me a digital version of a video, and it was a compilation of all of our Christmas mornings when we would walk down our stairs, go into the living room, we'd turn the corner, and we would see all the presents under the tree. I'm going to get emotional thinking about this. And there I am, little Jessica, my big brother, John, and I hear my grandmother's voice, who has been gone for several years now, since 2006 is when she passed away. I hear my grandmother's voice and her laughing at what a ridiculous sight. She's like, "Oh, Alex." So she had this big, bold voice and then laughing at how ridiculous the whole scene was. And here I am having contractions with my son. Talk about being vulnerable. Right? The hospital gown on, no bra, right? Just a mess. And I just start crying and laughing at the same time. And that's what you're able to do. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's why I named my company Reminiscence. I'm addicted to that. That when you can go back to a memory and just relive it, a happy memory, a special one, and share it with somebody you love. And then it just brings that energy back to now and the bonding that takes place with somebody you're already close to, just on a deeper level.
That connection.
The sharing. Yeah.
That's huge. And at a time we need that connection more than ever. We can feel so isolated and alone.
Mm-hmm.
And even with, though we have social media, so we're more connected than ever. In the same way, we feel the most disconnected.
Yes, yes, yes. We're not immune to isolation. We're not. And when we can utilize, celebrate, marinate in the best parts of our story, it's a reminder. It's like, oh, tap on the shoulder. I'm right here. I'm your life. I'm your story. I'm your memories. I'm your loved ones. I'm hugging you again. You know, it's powerful stuff.
Oh, I love that. What got you into this business and wanting to, and you have your own company, you have your own firm. What got you into this? It's so unique, and what a perfect time too, as we become more and more digital. How can we share these things?
So digital has given me my fair share of challenges too, but let me see if I can give you the short version. Mike, my business has been through several metamorphoses. So what
It's evolving.
Right. I'm a former music teacher, public school music teacher. And at the time, I was married and expecting our first baby when somebody invited me to a scrapbooking party. And I was like, I've got all these honeymoon pictures, all these things that I would love to have in a book. And I kept saying, no, it's not a good time. Oh, now we're selling our house. We're going to be moving. Timing is everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But bottom line, it was a week of my summer vacation as a teacher, and I sat down with a card table and a stack of photos, and I made an album, and I just fell in love with that feeling. And all I wanted to do was show it to people, and people were like, "This is really cool. Your pages tell the story. I don't have to sit prisoner while you narrate everything." They liked that the book told the stories, and I've been told I'm good at journaling and words. I love words. Okay. So that was the starting point of making it a business, learning that some people want the album, but don't have the bandwidth to make it. Even if they wanted to, they just can't deal with it. So a lot of learning, the teacher in me had to become the one willing to do it for the client. And that was a learning position. And then I worked for a direct sales company, and I sold the products, and I taught the classes and the workshops, and that was fun. And then the teaching career started to tank when my position was eliminated, but I had seniority, and I was put in a very awkward position to choose whose job I wanted to take, because I had seniority. And they didn't even say what the jobs were. They were saying, are you going to take his job, or her job?
Wow. Oh, that's a horrible position to be in, Kris.
And as a tenured teacher, I knew, I was seasoned enough in life to know you don't treat people that way. And so that was the kick in the pants that it took for me to leave a career that really wasn't about teaching anymore. It was more about politics and marching orders.
I hate when that happens, right? They take the passion right out of it.
Yeah. Well, it was very painful. It was very painful. But I went home, talked to my husband. I said, this is my chance. Let's see if a passion can be an income for me. And that began the journey of I quit my job.
Wow.
And started to build a team, and direct sales taught me a lot of things. And then all of a sudden, everything was digital, and people were stuck with analog, and they were stuck with digital. And they were saying, what about my VHS tapes? What about my wedding videos? What about the baby videos? What can you do? And, life just offered me different opportunities working with different companies, different brands. And then when the last one decided to fold the direct sales division of what they were doing, I had already received an arsenal of skills and know-how to do this myself. So somebody I'd done some coaching with said to me, Kris, you could just do this yourself. So I literally the next day looked up how to register an LLC and launched my business. And so
look at that.
Instead of working for somebody else's name, I chose the name that felt the most true to my heart, Reminiscence.
And now it truly is your baby. It's amazing how I find this happening all the time. God will intentionally close doors or unravel pieces of your life, relationships, jobs, opportunities.
Yes.
until you get into that alignment, because this was always meant to be yours. It really was, right? That company you're working for before, they didn't have the passion, the heart, the skill that you really do have.
Oh. Sometimes I tell myself it hurts when something that you think is really good for you goes away.
Oh, sure.
But what really hurts is when you're holding on too tightly to it, when it's time to release it and see what else can come in.
That's beautiful. When it's time to surrender and let go. When we see your law of attraction, law of the universe, right? Don't be too attached. Holding on. And you're saying that I picture, holding on to a car being dragged in the mud and just letting go.
Exactly. If I let go, then I won't fall in the mud.
It's not as painful, not as many scars, dirt.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
And you really have, watching you, you've been on this huge personal growth journey.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, do you think you would be on that journey if it wasn't for your business?
I don't think it would be. It's a collection of things. And my business definitely offers me the platform and the freedom to do the learning that I feel called to do, rather than the learning that is decided by an administrator or decided by, somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with being employed by somebody. I don't mean to discourage or say anything disparaging to somebody in those positions who appreciates what they have. And everybody has something to appreciate, by the way. But this put me in waters that change. And when the tides change, instead of latching onto someone else's boat, I have to figure out how to change and adapt with those tides, and beautiful things come to me because I'm out there.
I love that. Beautiful things come to me. They just come. It's like a money man, right? Money just comes to me. Beautiful things come to me. And it is fascinating to see so many times, right? The rug's been ripped out from under you and you had to pivot very quickly, right? The next day you were looking up how to register this, whereas so many people just be like, okay, I got to figure this out. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to wait it through. But you took the risk quite a few times. You took a risk to keep going, to push through, and to see, where's the new path? This path is closed. Where's the new path?
Yeah.
To take it, which it really is amazing to see and witness. And I'm curious how this also coincides with your work and dealing with everybody's past. You are, in a way, you're meeting with people in the present moment, but in the past, you're combining both realities at once. And there are memories that we keep so in the front of our mind because of that emotional attachment. So no matter what, the past is emotional to us.
Yes.
How are you able to also help people kind of move through their past and to figure out how much of their daily life do they want to be stuck in their past? Does that make sense? Am I asking you?
No. I'm there with you. There's no one answer for everybody. And it starts with listening. And if I come in with a product that I want to sell to them and I don't know anything about them, then I'm not serving anybody. I'm wasting my breath. I'm wasting my time. I am a relationship girl. You said it earlier, my introduction, and thank you for that. That was so heartfelt. We're relational creatures. We're relational creatures. And I don't know the first thing about you until I do this. And I listen to you. So asking people what matters to them and what's their pain. Being the third party, I wasn't part of that family story. I have a more objective perspective.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And so it doesn't mean that your memories are less important to me. It means I have the advantage of speed when it comes to suggesting better solutions. I have a mutual friend of ours down in North Carolina who had 2 bins of old photos and frames and albums and stuff that's pre-digital that wasn't serving her and making her feel guilty because it was sitting in her storage room.
Oh my God. How many people can relate to that? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So she went to the UPS store, packed it all up, shipped it to me. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to see what's garbage, what's not, what's duplicates, what's not, and then review with her, because decisions are a little bit easier for me when I'm not caught up in my reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fresher perspective. I am not in the business of destroying memories, but I am in the business of illuminating and highlighting the good stuff. Because isn't it true what we focus on is what grows?
Oh my, I was reading Instagram, right? Focus on happiness, happiness grows. Focus on shit, shit grows.
Yes, it does. And you step
Monthly, but yes.
You step in it too.
You do step in it.
Literally.
You know. And it's interesting. I was just on with my business coach, who you work with as well, Brittany, and we were talking about celebration. And when was the last time you celebrated yourself? And this is reminding me of that moment, is to, as you said, illuminate, to bring back to life these amazing memories, to celebrate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To celebrate yourself.
It's important to celebrate, and it's really satisfying when you share that celebration. That's why parties aren't one person. They're groups of
that was so sad. I'm moving.
Yeah. I mean,
it's good to have our alone time, but
yes, private celebrations are equally important. But you know, when it's a milestone, when it's a graduation, when it's an anniversary, it's usually more than one person, right?
Yes.
And that's where the bonding comes in. And celebrating.
Great point, Kris. It's also a transfer of energy. Right? When there's more people in a room and you meditate or you're celebrating, there's a huge transfer of energy where you're all elevating at a higher energy now.
Yes.
I didn't think about that, sharing memories, how that could do it as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you know what? We have the right to edit our past. You don't have to make things up that didn't happen, but you can choose to elevate the parts that are meaningful that you bring forward.
Oh, I was going to say, let's talk about this. Editing your past.
Okay.
So, we always hear, right? This story is defining me. I was neglected. I was abused. Horrible things happened to me growing up. And that's what tends to hold a grasp on ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. We're trying to get rid of it, but it just has this no grasp on us. Right. So how can we then edit our past so that it's almost like this burden on our back everywhere we go?
So maybe I oversimplified. I would tend to say, edit how you perceive the past.
Ooh, okay.
So if there's an abuse story, that doesn't mean you can erase it from your history. Mm-hmm. It means, what could I learn from this that helps me grow? And I've identified what I don't want. Now let's use that process of elimination to find what we do want.
Yes, I got you.
So there are racial stories and tensions that are very painful for people to relive. Mm-hmm. There are abuse stories. There are stories of strife. I'm not going to list the whole, but loss, grief, pain comes in many different flavors. But when we rehearse that story of pain and hurt, and we practice it and we preach it and we perpetuate more of that. But what I'm suggesting is that UPS box, choose the very best parts to digitize and pay forward and enjoy. Yeah. I mean, okay, quick question.
Yes.
Jess, in the digital age, how many photos would you say you take? Let's say, okay, first day of school pictures.
Yes.
Is it just one?
Mm-mm. No, like 50, because it's so easy, right?
Okay.
I'll take multiple pictures and then it's so easy. Then I can delete it if I want to.
We can delete them, because taking a picture doesn't cost us anything, right?
Yes.
But it does cost us time if over time we're not letting go of that. And we need to just, all of a sudden you're like fishing through all the weeds to find the flower.
Yes. I hear you, Kris. You got me there. Very
Oh,
true.
no. I was just saying, for example, I'm not pointing fingers.
It's true though, because then you go through your flow. You're like, why do I still have the 10 pictures from the first day of school?
Yeah.
When I really only liked maybe one of them. And it also posted on Facebook. It's in Tiny Bean. So I have other ways to get to the picture.
Yes.
Really
Yes. So why did you take 50 photos? Let's go there for a sec.
Well, honestly, because my daughter has a very awkward smile. So I need to wait for that genuine smile.
Okay, there's that. Okay. So you want to give her something the best you can to enjoy going forward and to share, right? But is there an emotion behind that?
It's probably me holding on to her a little bit longer. I didn't even think of it until you just said that, but being in that moment with her a little bit longer before she gets onto that bus.
Right. Well, do you love your daughter?
Love my daughter. Yeah.
Okay. There aren't enough words to describe the depth of that love, right?
Exactly.
So it's an expression of love. Taking a photo of somebody you love. Those are the legacy moments.
Love that. The legacy moments.
Yeah, for sure. So when I've used the term legacy maker, I like to wear that title. That's your queen crown. I like to wear the legacy maker crown. Because I'm not making your legacy. I'm just archiving, cataloging, protecting, and serving it up on a platter that you can actually enjoy. And then working with Brittany, I had a huge aha. Many, but the one I'm going for right now is that when I have the privilege of helping somebody preserve their legacy and serve it up to them, they become a piece of my legacy.
Wow, that is very true. Yeah. I can see that. I can visualize it. And, part of why we wanted to have you on here is talking about that legacy. Yeah. And as us women chasing the millions, right? Building an impact, building a legacy. But the problem is we're so focused on the next steps, right? We want 5-year goals done in 3 days. We forget to celebrate ourselves. We forget to look at the legacy we've already built. Yeah. And that's where you come into play, right? We're able to look at where we were a year ago, 5 years, 10 years ago, to where we are today. That's a huge part of our story.
It is. It is. And I'm reading a book, The Gap and the Gain. It's not a new one. Have you heard it?
I haven't, but it sounds really good.
You can get it on Audible too if you're reading it at once. And they say it's all about staying positive and choosing the positive mindset versus the negative mindset. That's a really grossly oversimplification, not nearly as elegant as the writing, but
still impact.
One of the bits of advice that really resonates with me is measuring your success backwards instead of forwards. And that ties into the celebration, right? Mm-hmm. So if I say to myself, where was I a year ago? Wow. I learned how to speed read. I cut 8 inches of my hair. I launched my daughter successfully in her first year of college. My other daughter danced alongside of professionals, and I moved to Chicago to make it happen for a month. And now we're looking at our next chapters when both girls have launched and are very excited about it. So look at all the things that have unfolded in a year's time. So measuring back isn't staying stuck in the past. It's a practice of celebration and gratitude for how far we've come. And when we're feeling full of gratitude, that feeds our motivation. And that's like wind in the sails heading towards your next goal, right? Your next steps. Yeah. So, that's a whole lot of books all in one conversation right there.
Amen, though. You're saying that, like, yeah, so much can happen in a year. And we have this conversation a lot with our advisors. I'm like, look at where you were a year ago. This wasn't even on your radar joining the Women's Wealth Boutique. It wasn't even on my radar to create it a year ago. And look how much happened. And then it's neat to see a year from now, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And who am I becoming? And it's such a cool practice where you almost can be the year before current and then a year forward and almost be able to embody it all.
Yes. Yeah.
It's amazing. So to me, you are that bridge, right? From the present to the past. You are that bridge of everybody's growth, everybody's journey in a way.
Thank you. Or at least let me be the signs on the bridge, because we all have to walk our own journey. We have to drive our own roads. But if you don't mind me, just, how things come full circle?
Yes.
Like we are a product of all of our life experiences and all of our life lessons. And, my days in the classroom in the public schools were not all bad. There were so many good lessons and so many skills that this ADHD adult developed to help me organize and my executive functioning skills. I know how to work with them because I learned it as a teacher, as an educator. And so Full Circle is this course that I'm working on now. Do you mind me plugging a little bit?
Please do. And I love moments when things come full circle. So I'm all in.
So I chose a new classroom because I love working a one-on-one with my clients. But not all my clients can actually sit in my living room or in my workshop, and they can't all necessarily be in their home unless they want to plan a trip, fly me to them. That's fine. And I'm open to that universe. Anyway, because I love travel. My point is I chose a new classroom and it's a virtual classroom. And after 2 decades, I realized this is my 20th anniversary. I've worked with people's memories for 20 years now, in the different stages, of course. And I didn't realize I was developing a system through the whole process. And so now the teacher wrote a curriculum. And it's a curriculum I titled Digital Piece because it's a piece of what I teach. But it's because one of my most common complaints I get from clients, private clients, is my photos are everywhere. I don't get all this technology. It's in too many places. I'm so overwhelmed. I take a picture and it's lost. It just goes in this thing. And I don't know how to get it back again. I miss the days of holding my pictures again. And that's, or the adult children saying, my parents are they're downsizing. They need help.
Oh, sure.
Please help
boxes
them.
and boxes, closets full of stuff.
Yeah. And some people want to do it themselves. And some people have the bandwidth. They just don't know how. So long story short, I'm writing this curriculum. I'm launching a course. By the time your podcast is live, it will be in progress. And it's called Digital Piece. And it's to take away the stress and the worry of photo and video clutter.
Everywhere. It's true. Or I see people, let me show you this picture of my grandchild or my kid. Like, I can't figure out where it is.
Yeah. Wait. Give me 10 minutes. I'll find it. Give me 10 more minutes. I'll find it.
Like, I gotta go. You're like, try nicely to bow out. But no, it happens all the time. I have it. Everybody has it.
Yeah. So part of my teaching approach in this course is it's pre-recorded and I have downloadable materials so that you can go at your own pace. But I'm also implementing a live call aspect to it, so that
there's a live call.
Yes, because when you have
time,
in real time, and we can record them and share them, but there'll be a community that's built as people are going through the process together and sharing what they've learned. And we're going to have fun, like sharing games and things like that to keep it on task. And measuring back is going to be the wind and the sails of look how much you've learned in just one day. Look how much you've learned. Just making that one decision is the difference between having this fixed and not.
Mm-hmm.
So I got bucket loads of optimism and insights based on not just fluff, but progress that humans make every day. And they don't necessarily see their progress. I'm going to hold up that mirror so that they can see, look how far you've come. And so I'm very excited to have that relationship as a teacher with students again, but the students who are not assigned to me, the students who choose to be in my classroom.
But I love that there's a community. So you have that sharing of energy and where you're not isolated and alone in your basement
Yes.
going through pictures.
Yes. Yeah.
There's that camaraderie that you really need
Right.
to keep pushing you through it. The accountability, the sharing, the celebration, all of that comes with a community. We're all about community here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Absolutely.
amazing. So where can people find you, Kris? The course, how to work with you, follow you, because you do have amazing social media presence. Where can people go?
So my handle on social is Kris Reminisce, and I'm Kris with a K. And my website is my name, KrisLedonne.com. And so if you want to put that at the show notes, I'll give you links or whatever. And my website, you can go to the Learn tab to find out about Digital Peace and where we are in the launch, because it is going to be launching a couple times. And just because I'm going to constantly be refining it. The best teachers are students too.
We are both big proponents of always learning.
Yes, always.
Always learning. That's where I get my inspiration. That's where I get my creative mojo, is learning, reading, talking with people like you.
Well, it's mutual. We have a really wonderful exchange, and I'm grateful.
Me too, Kris. Thank you so much for being on Women Behind the Millions. Thank you to those of you listening, watching the recordings, the replay. Thank you all so much for your support. And thank you, Kris, for spending some time with us today and reminiscing a little bit. That was so much fun.
That was. Thank you so much, Jess.
Thank you. Hello, money queens. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Thank you all for watching and listening. Our Pink Fix Divas. Here we are. We're about to interview some amazing professionals for Women Behind the Millions. All right. And then for an ending, Kaylee, we'll do. Thank you to all of our money queens listening, watching to Women Behind the Millions. We are all here to support you to get to that 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure, dare we say, mark with your wealth, with your money, with all of your successes. So thank you, money queens, for watching and listening.